give me the harsh voice, harsh indications, make it feel like it's a real test, alright? It actually helps.
I will do. I will play the role. I'm even going to ask you.
Just whatever you
I'm
do.
going to ask you, so Doru, what would you normally be doing today? And you're going to turn around to me and say, well, something really funny. Yeah, nothing boring, yeah?
I'll try.
Don't tell me you work at a refrigeration shop. or what is it? What's your role?
Yeah, it's a technical sales engineer.
Technical sales engineer, so a bit more than working at a store.
Yeah.
But give me something fun.
Okay.
No, you don't have to.
No, I understand.
I'm joking. Just a bit of banter on the way.
Yeah,
No, we're being serious, aren't we? Really. Okay, so the first question I'm going to ask you before we start this mock 3 is your third mock test. So we've failed the first one, passed the second one. We're getting better and better, aren't we? 10 faults on the last one.
11.
So yeah, 11 driving faults on the last one. 2 borderline, could have been serious. So for those watching, if you want to see that, head to Doru's driving lessons playlist and also the mock test playlist. Okay, Doru, so the first question I'm going to ask you is, how can you tell me what the minimum tread depth would be for the tyres on the car, please?
The minimum tread depth on the tires would be 1.6 millimeters and have to be 3/4 of the total, with the sides, well, not considered, it's basically 3/4 of the entire, so you wouldn't consider the outer sides of the tire. Minimum 1.6 millimeters, yeah. And if you need to, well, yeah, that was the question. So
yeah, and what general condition are you looking for?
So general condition would be, you would have to first of all check for cuts and bulges, so you want to make sure that your tire is not slashed by any chance. Also, you want to look if the tire is well, fully inflated. You can do that by using a pressure gauge, and you can look on the outside of the tire, which usually would sometimes would indicate, depending on which tire you buy, would indicate what is the recommended pressure. Also, you can consult the vehicle's manual.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, right, we're ready to start. So, you are in control of everything. Demisters, lights, everything is down to you from now. Okay, so when you're ready, we'll drive on. And we'll be starting independent driving from the beginning, okay? So
fine.
I'll tell you when that phase finishes. Doru, what would you normally be doing today?
Juggling balls. Playing the accordion in the streets, making some change. No, I'll be working in the office.
Yeah. Juggling some balls. Let's just leave that there.
Yeah.
Oh dear. When it's safe, Doru, could you show me how you'd wash your rear screen, please?
Okay.
I'll be asking you to do that again. Now, out of roll here, we haven't been over this. You know the end of that right stick?
Okay.
You might need to put your speedometer back on. So if you press the end of it,
like that,
it'll change the display.
Again?
The second exit. A6.
Now, the sat-nav isn't going the way I want it to, unfortunately.
So which one?
Take the first exit, please.
Second. Okay.
It should reroute us, I hope.
Take the second exit.
Purposes of the camera, of course this is a mock test, the sat-nav will always take us the quickest route, so that's why I've diverted you, because that's not the way I wanted to go. We could end up being on the M1 and stuff, so it's rerouted, so just follow the sat-nav from now, okay?
Okay.
For those watching, the driving test sat-nav are pre-programmed routes, and so this won't happen on the driving test.
I can see the front. I'll switch it off.
Can't help you with that, I'm afraid.
That's fine. Thank you.
I can help you with the speed though, because we've not covered that before in the lessons. Press the end of the right stick.
End of the right stick?
Yeah, the little button on the end of the tip.
There you go.
Press that again.
Oh, sorry. There you go.
Once more and it'll change the display on your centre so you can see your
There you go.
speedometer.
Like that?
Yeah, when that disappears you should have your miles per hour back. Okay, I won't be helping you again with that, okay? So if you can't see what you need to see, you need to keep pressing that end of that button. I'm only doing that because we haven't been over it before.
Alright, thank you.
fifth exit.
section. I'll give you directions from now on.
Okay.
Take the next road on the left, just before the bus stop.
Okay.
Next left. I'd like you to pull up at a safe place along the right hand side of this road when it's safe.
Okay.
Thank you. Now I'd like you to reverse back 2 car lengths, keeping reasonably close to the curb.
Okay.
Thank you. I'd like to drive on.
Okay.
When you're ready. 2 roundabouts coming up ahead. We're heading back to test centre now.
Okay.
At the first roundabout, we'll go ahead, it's second exit.
Okay.
And at the second roundabout, we'll turn right, also second exit. So ahead and right.
Okay.
Turning right at the next roundabout. Try not to get too close to the inside there with the back tyres. It's not this one.
It's the next one.
When safe, change lanes once to the left, as we're going to turn left at the roundabout. Turn the engine off and make yourself comfortable. Just bear with me while I complete this.
Okay.
And take it from there. How do you feel that you did?
Worse than the second test.
And what makes you think that?
When you said down the road, turn right, I went through rather than taking a right. That was a big
nearly,
mistake.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about that first. I haven't actually marked that as a serious fault. I've marked it as planning because I didn't have to take any action. I was ready to. Any second then. If you hadn't noticed, I'd have been on the brakes. So, late braking. Now, had there have been a car behind, that would have been a serious fault because it's following traffic, and late braking like that would have been immensely dangerous.
Yeah.
What was the real problem there? Why did you brake late?
Why did I brake late? Because I just thought it was I didn't look at the road marking. I just saw it as an intersection, and although I saw it, I believed it wasn't the end of the road, but it was. So
what did you
pay more attention? Yeah, I should just be paying more attention.
What clues are you going to be looking out for specifically in future?
In the future, essentially, if it says end of the road and you have already a junction, then that'll be the end of the road.
Yeah.
I know it sounds simple, but
bit more to it. I can give you a few more tools. You need to be looking out for, because that was a crossroad there. Because we're coming from the minor road, you don't normally get the warning triangles. It's normally the major, so they know when they're passing through that cars could come across. Now you've got the give way lines there, haven't you? So you need to be looking out for the paint. Now on a sunny day like today, it's a bit harder to see. So if you're in a newer area, you might just be looking at a bit more, anticipating a bit more. But I tell you what you should look for. It's a crossroad, therefore the curbs are going to peel away like this, and then exactly the same is going to happen on the other side, almost like that shape but curved, if that makes sense. So look for them curbs peeling away either side of you. You've got a straight curb line all the way down the road, and then it goes like that.
okay.
And the other thing is gaps in houses.
Okay.
Yeah, and houses at angles. So sometimes if it's crossroad, the house on the corner might be at angles. Depends, might not be. I can't remember what the name was, but yeah, just be tuning yourself into all the clues really.
Okay.
You then went to go straight on, didn't you? Not
as
turn
in,
right.
yeah, not turn right, but turn.
No, can't remember whether you had the signal on or not.
As in turn right.
Yeah, initially when we pulled off from the giveaway lines.
No, I didn't, because I wasn't ready to turn right. That's the thing. I was prepared to go forward past the junction, so I didn't have it on.
So what we did was we went into the other road, you turned in it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Now the only reason that wasn't a serious fault is because you looked, and you checked your mirrors over your shoulder before you come back out into the road. Had you not done that, then that would have been a serious fault as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. It's all a bit iffy and a bit.
Yeah, of course, I agree. It
borderline.
was silly. I know.
So hopefully you learn a few bits from that.
What else? I believe on the roundabout, my lane positioning wasn't great. That's all.
Yeah, well, you didn't spiral, but you sort of drove over the lines. Believe they are broken lines. No harm was really done by that. You didn't invite the car on the left by doing so, and you did check your mirrors extensively coming off. So again, in terms of situational, you know, it was okay, but you want to be following that line out to be more defensive and stop that car from getting on the left of you.
Whereas what I did is I swerved into the roundabout, whereas I should have spiraled off.
Yeah, look for that. So what are you looking for to spiral off then?
That first line that I see.
Yeah.
So as soon as I see it, I'll just gradually start spiraling off.
Yeah, that's it. Okay.
What's the other serious mistake?
So I didn't mark that as a fault, but it is worth mentioning just for the guys watching. What we're talking about is the very first roundabout we did.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about the serious faults then. Driving down the A50 off the Castle Donington roundabout, you turned right, 5th exit, which you did a decent job at really. It is a bit of a spiral roundabout. Do you recall?
The big roundabout.
Yeah, it is a spiral, but it doesn't spiral till very late, and the road markings are extremely poor. So I think you did well in terms of counting your exits, getting your signal on in time, checking to move across, and I was happy with that really, based on what you had available to you.
But
so just like giving you some feedback on the roundabout. Now, when we got on the slip road, for some reason we started slowing down. We're doing 30 for a bit. I'm thinking, I'm going to give you a serious fault in a minute. You've got cars behind. We're on a slip road. What should we be doing on slip roads?
Should be accelerating.
What are slip roads for?
Well, it's for a car. Well, for a driver to basically accelerate so that it has the required speed to go onto the motorway. That's what it is.
Yeah. So we're joining a faster road.
Yeah.
What do we want to try and not to do to that fast road? Does that even make sense? What don't we want to?
We don't want to come in at a lower speed than what they're traveling at.
And then I don't know if you was thinking about that roundabout. You just come off and thought.
I just came off, but then I believe there was a 40 speed limit sign, so I had about 30, and then I picked it up to 40. Is that the one we're talking about, by any chance? Or maybe
the whole thing's.
So basically, I didn't accelerate to the.
You needed to get up to speed on the slip road.
Okay, fine.
Let's not mess around, because if you've got the wrong type of driver behind you, they're going to be tailgating you, trying to go around you, intimidating you, and bullying, you know, all that sort of thing.
Okay.
You don't want to cause that.
Okay.
Now, when you got onto the carriageway, what was the speed limit? Yeah, but the slip road was all right in the end. You got enough speed up to make it just reasonable. But when we got onto the carriageway, what was the speed limit?
It was. I don't remember. If it's not national speed, then it was a 50 speed limit, I believe. So if it's in the carriageway, if it's a dual carriageway, then it should be national speed limit. Yeah.
Which is what?
60.
So this explains it.
What explains it?
So it's a dual carriageway. It's 70.
Yeah. Sure.
It's 60 for lorries.
Yeah.
Right.
And I know this.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be 70.
Yeah. How would you identify a dual carriageway as opposed to a single?
We spoke about it yesterday. It's the physical barrier.
Anything to do with lanes?
No, it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't
as
matter.
long as it has a physical barrier, that's a dual carriageway.
Because that one's got 3 lanes, isn't it?
So I should have been speeding up to. So I see now. So slip road, slow, then coming on it, and I was still doing 60 and continue to do 60 rather than doing 70.
56s and stuff. At one point, the lorry was gaining, and I thought this is getting dangerous now. You don't want to be causing lorries to overtake. It's unnecessary.
I see.
And the other thing is, I'm looking at the road and I'm thinking this is a great opportunity to make good progress. to get up to speed and
I see.
get from A to B efficiently and safely, because that's what those roads are for. That's why it's safe to go faster on those, because there isn't the hazards that you usually get on these back roads, you know, pedestrians, junctions, buses and stopping and or whatever. Could keep going on.
Okay, lesson learned. I understand now what I did.
So it's important to make progress, yeah? Keep thinking about that at all times.
I understand, yeah, rather than be overcautious.
Yeah, because overcautious is dangerous.
As well. Yeah, okay. So these are my 2 serious faults. Or no?
No, that's one serious fault.
One. Okay, fine.
The other one, what did you think that was the other one?
Well, like I told you earlier, when I was supposed to turn right at the end of the road, but I didn't. I thought that was a serious fault.
I didn't give you a serious for the reasons I said.
Oh, you told me, yeah, because I looked and I reacted and I looked over my shoulder. Fine, but that was borderline serious, I know.
Borderline. Who knows, for Tess it might have been slightly different.
Okay, fine.
But for me, I'm thinking, have you hit the points where if you were on your own in that specific situation, if everything was exactly the same, would you have kept yourself safe? Yeah. If there was cars around, cars behind, not so much, so I can only mark on what I see. And that's the difference between us doing driving lessons. We work on what could be, and if you look in terms of tests, they can only mark what they see generally.
Okay.
Give or take.
I see.
You know what I mean?
The other serious fault, I believed it was the first roundabout. So.
We're not following that spiral line.
Yeah, I thought that was a serious mistake.
I didn't really mark that as a driver. I didn't even mark that because it just flowed. You know, if you'd have slowed down, that'd have been different because you would have definitely if that car spirals to the left, it's going to catch up and come on the inside. Well, the road merges shortly after, so that wouldn't have been a good idea. But you get your speed up, so it's not.
Okay.
You'll be surprised what aren't driver faults on test. It's different, you know. On lesson, I'd pick that straight up and we'd deal with it and say, look, we want to be doing this for X, Y, and Z reason, but it's not even a fault.
Please tell me then.
The suspense is killing me. So, you know, when we pulled up on the right, that was your manoeuvre.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, when you reverse backwards, what did we say we was going to do if traffic comes towards us?
I see. I was supposed to stop because there was someone coming from behind. Okay.
From in front. Well, behind if you're looking backwards, I guess.
Yeah.
But it was coming from in front. When you started manoeuvring initially, it was visible coming towards us, and we've got to be thinking, yeah, we can move a little bit maybe, but when it gets closer, we need to pause for a second.
Okay.
Why do we need to pause for a second? What, by us moving as it overtakes or approaches to overtake? Tell me some of the
what are the hazards? I understand. The question, I mean. So the hazard would be if, let's say, the driver coming towards me, as I reverse backwards, would not notice that I'm moving, and then he would maybe want to pull just behind me and then somehow, you know, cause an accident. Is that correct?
Yeah, I could misjudge you.
So,
yeah.
Okay.
So you're not going to cause any danger if you're stationary. It's only for a moment, just momentarily, so we can judge when to position out, judge where you are, and judge their timing to move back in potentially.
Okay.
If you're travelling and they get to move back in, and you're moving into the space they anticipated they'd move into, then yeah.
Okay. No, I understand.
All right. So, same. We said we did. Was it Bay Parking yesterday? And we said, yeah, we need to be responding to, you know, other road users, traffic, etc. We've got 2 for changing speed, so not checking the centre mirror
When changing speed. Okay.
Okay, so
2 as in driver faults.
2 driver faults.
Okay.
Yeah.
So before changing speed.
There could have been more. It's hard. Sometimes it's hard for me to see. I will admit, it's hard for me to see without staring at you, and I don't want to stare at you because I don't think that's a very natural way of doing things. Because I think you're taller than me, so you sit even further back. So I can't see it out of the corner of my eye as well.
Okay.
That's just me being totally honest with you. What I am going to invest in is an eye mirror, so I can see people's eyes without even looking. So any instructors watching, invest in an eye mirror. Also, it's going to help me to identify facial expressions and body language and things like that, because sometimes you can hear what isn't said through people's expressions. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Slightly sidetracked there, but that's my plans.
Okay.
But I do believe there was two missing there. I think the first one was coming up to the first roundabout down here, as we turn right, the roundabout you're talking about for the spiral. Maybe because you was thinking a lot about the roundabout, and
I was, yeah.
I can't think where the other one was, but yeah,
Okay.
same thing. Okay, so it needs to be mirror, signal, manoeuvre every time. We've got signals necessary. You just come in off the Blue Peter roundabout. What didn't you do?
I didn't signal left, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I was going. Okay.
Why do you need to signal left?
Just to make sure that whoever's coming from, or even from behind me, that I don't. No, to be fair, no. If someone's coming from my right hand side, because I was in the left hand lane, so that we don't. No, actually no. I don't know. To be honest, it's. Oh no, I know why. It's for the drivers that are sitting just here.
Yep, it's for them.
For them, yeah.
And it's also, so you're coming around, you've got drivers on your left.
On my left, yeah.
You've also got approaching traffic.
Sure. So they would know not to move forward, the ones on my left, first of all.
Yeah, and the approaching ones would
Approaching
know
ones.
to keep going.
Yeah.
I've known people turn right in the left-hand lane.
It's dangerous.
I wouldn't advise it, but I've seen it done, and it catches people out, you know. So just want to confirm your road positioning, suggesting it, your speed suggesting you're going straight on, but just confirm it finally, because some people will stop there because you haven't signalled.
Okay.
Some people are only reading signals alone. You see, I'm trying to train you to look at everything into account, but yeah, got to keep the roads flowing. We could cause a rear ender if they stop. We could be nothing to do with us, but we've caused it because they've stopped and the people behind them didn't expect it to. So that makes sense.
I understand.
Why do you check the mirrors before you change speed then? Because that's been missing twice. Why is that important? Before we even ease off the gas, people don't even think that's.
So when you say change speed up or down?
Down, because that's
down. Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
That's
fine.
always
Fine.
that's always a risk, because when we slow down, the people behind might not, so they could go in the back.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I've just answered it.
Oh, you did, yeah. Because I was about to ask you why, because I was thinking while we were talking, why would I look into mirror if I'm speeding up? But it makes sense if you change down, because automatically you're slowing down and you want to make sure that you're doing the right maneuver and not cause any accident or someone potentially smacking in the back end.
Yeah. So the things we could do differently to prevent that is by giving a signal earlier and
Which
longer.
is very good.
Could be a long, prolonged brake signal before we really start to brake properly, to make them more alert. Oh, brake lights are on as to what's going on in front. Now we do check the mirrors. We talked about this the other day, but let's recap it again now, because from what you just said, there might be some uncertainty. We did talk about checking mirrors before speeding up the other day. Do you remember that? I think it's on that video I've actually published, your first lesson. Why do we check the mirrors before speeding up? We generally check centre and right before we speed up. And for a new road, isn't it? New road, before we speed up, centre right mirror.
Because you never know if someone's coming off the roundabout at a much higher speed. You don't know what might happen.
So what wouldn't you do if there was?
So if they were behind me...
well, if there was... Well, if higher speed, I guess they're going to overtake, aren't they?
Yeah.
So what wouldn't you do?
I wouldn't go further right. I would stick to my lane, essentially.
And would you keep...
I wouldn't swing out.
Absolutely. And would you still speed up, or would you let them pass?
I would let them pass, of course, and especially if you have also a parked car, because that would be the only reason why I would want to maneuver and kind of go around something. So before doing that, I always check the mirrors. But also that's why when you come into a new road, you'd want to check, because sometimes you have parked cars on both ends and you want to go into the middle of the road as well. So it's important to check if there's someone coming at high speed behind you as well.
Yeah. So you might consider checking the left as well if it's if you've turned, if you go middle to middle, but it's a left turn, which sometimes you do, particularly around here. Yeah, there's a lane either side of you. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And so appropriate speed. Now we come off the. We've already talked about. We've got a driver fault so we've done all the serious ones. We're just talking about another driver fault. Appropriate speed, progress. We've come off the A50.
Okay.
That 3-lane A road carriageway, dual carriageway, and we've gone straight in the left-hand lane. That's great. So left for normal driving and all that. And we've followed the road up. But then you've seen some signs in front of you, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember what the signs look like? The shapes of the signs.
No, I don't.
The shapes looked like. I'll show you. Like that.
Okay. Yeah.
So just for the purposes of the camera.
Oh yeah, and it was max speed 40.
That
Then I
one there.
slowed down.
Yeah.
Yeah, once I've done it and I saw that it was still national speed. I don't know. I just, I saw it was advisory to slow down to 40, but you're saying that I shouldn't have slowed down.
No. Yeah, it was an advisory. Cars behind you. Did you need to slow down? Would you have lost control if you didn't?
Okay.
You actually slow down to about 36, which is dangerous there. You want to be going around there at 60, the lot.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an advisory, so it's not a legal requirement, if you like, but it is there for a reason. So if you've had a frost the morning before, or you're in a vehicle that is likely to tilt and tip, or do you see what I mean?
Wider, for instance.
Yeah, we're in a GTI with wide tyres, good grip, and it's a relatively dry now. We need to be keeping the foot down there. So it's knowing what. So what do triangles do generally?
Triangles are basically an indication. It's just a suggestion, so to speak, right?
Kind of. It's a warning.
It's a
warning
warning,
triangles. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas if it's in a circle, usually it's a reminder. So for instance, if let's say you first have a 30 speed limit and then another one further behind it, and so on. That would be not just a reminder, but that would be also, you have to follow that essentially.
Yeah, must do.
You must do, yeah.
So with the red ring on the outside, it's must do. Must not. With the red ring, must not exceed 40.
That's true. Yeah.
Sorry, apologies for that.
Ring red on the outside, yes.
Yeah, but if it's a blue circle, it's what we must do. Yeah, I know that's not what we're talking about. We're just differentiating between.
Yeah.
But you didn't see that, did you?
No, I did see the 40 speed limit. I did see it. That's why I slowed down.
Yeah, but what was the 40 in? It was in a rectangle,
It was in
wasn't
a rectangle rather than...
So it's an advisory. So by you braking, if I'm behind you and I'm just a regular driver that isn't really thinking about what the guy in front's doing, and I'm too close, because that's what most people do, I'm going to think, whoa, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know, and let's hope I'm paying attention when you slow down, because I didn't expect it. Nice open wide road in front.
Okay.
See what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
So it's really important that you identify shapes and work from that. Okay.
Okay.
So I just marked you a driver fault there because it was
It was too slow.
It was too and the manner you brake with the cars behind it was just unnecessary. There's a fault for planning and awareness. I'm trying to think what that was for. Planning and awareness. Quite a bold one, that one. It could go for anything. Planning and awareness, because everything's planning and everything's awareness. I think it was that junction. The junction we talked about. Where
The one where it's
you
supposed
went-
to take right. Okay.
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, the crossroad where you stop. You just about stopped. Luckily there was nothing behind.
Yeah.
And turning left. Now when we come to the end of... We turned left, right, and there was a Ford. It was like a family type car.
Mm-hmm.
My favourite cars. Not them type of cars, them big ones. We turned left. Did you notice anything when you turned left? No.
I don't remember the incident, to be honest.
It was a bit quick, wasn't it? It all happened a bit quick.
Oh, I do remember the roundabout when I turned in second gear and quite fast, and I had to kind of slow down as I approached. Is that the one? It
No.
wasn't a roundabout. It was a.
It was a left turn.
It was a. I was a left turn. No, that's completely different. Sorry.
Basically, what happened is we turned. We left the curb a little bit, but that car cut the corner so severely.
I know.
We
now.
was really close.
I know now. I know now which one you're talking about. One turned left and he turned.
He turned right. He cut the corner. He must have steered. He must have steered about 3 meters before the middle of the road. The middle of
So that
his
would
turn.
be my fault. Yeah.
You should have spotted it, because by going out there, you're likely to, that front corner and his front left corner are likely to clip, or door mirrors, or something along that nature.
So that's borderline serious.
Potentially, because you didn't see that coming, did you?
No.
So that's why I say to you, when you're at the junction and you're looking right and left, remember what it is: right, forward, left, left, forward, right. if we've got crossroads or we've got pedestrians or crossing in front or cars going to cut the corner, they're going to turn in front of you, you're going to spot it.
Yeah.
All right, so a bit borderline there. Had you stayed with the curb perfectly as you went round, I think you would have if you'd have been a bit slower. You might not be having this conversation because you'd been safe. It'd been all right anyway.
I understand.
So that'll be an interesting one to watch back, I guess. Just rewind that and think about what you could have done differently in terms of speed, gears, observations.
I understand.
What do you reckon?
I understand, yeah.
Yep. So what we got? Oh, just around that time when you come off the slip road, the left signal was flashing for ages.
Yeah, I remember.
And you did get it off. Any longer I'd have marked it as a driver fault, but I thought it was worth mentioning. Just listen out for the tick-tock. If you leave it on for so long in this car, it gets louder to remind you. Don't know if you've noticed that.
I didn't notice because I was fully concentrating on the road.
Yeah, no worries.
But
it does flash as well. You see the green. So if you're checking your speedometer regularly, you'll see the green flashing. So the arrow will flash green on the left for a left indicator, right on the right for the right indicator.
It's very unusual for
the
me
display.
because I haven't done that so far. But
That's it. So we've got
so I definitely failed this because obviously you have the 2 Series.
2 Series, yeah. We've got 6 driving faults. So we've gone from, this is mock test 3. We've gone from mock test 1, which was done yesterday afternoon, 2 dangerous faults, 4 serious faults, 12 driving faults. We've done a test this morning, which had just 11 driving faults but a pass. This is our 3rd mock test, all different routes, and we've got 6 faults and 2 serious. Would you say these mocks are helping you to improve slowly?
They definitely are helping me to improve, yes. Obviously, if they win the 2 Series, then that would have been, well, not terrific, but much an improvement compared to the second mock, you know?
Yeah. The ink on the sheet is getting less. Would you agree?
I agree. I definitely agree. It's just I need to be more aware, that's all.
Is that the biggest thing you'd take from it, do you think?
Definitely do. You know, having all of these sessions in 2 hours and then 2 hours, it can get a bit, you know, I've been doing driving for the past, 4 days now.
Yeah.
So my mind is all about driving, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been trying to get my sleep as well and look at videos. So that, I mean, I guess maybe if I slept a bit more, maybe an extra hour, then maybe that would have helped. Maybe a stronger coffee or something, I don't know. But
tell me about it.
Yeah,
I feel the same. Just for anybody watching, Doru's put in a lot of hard work this week. Been doing lots of studying on your own time, haven't you?
Yeah.
I think, have you watched all my videos now?
pretty much.
He's been dreaming about them and all sorts.
Pretty much.
But I think they've helped you, haven't they? And you watched your own back last night. You watched Monday's lesson back.
Yeah, seeing your own video is definitely useful because I think I told you this earlier. I couldn't believe the silly mistakes, even though you were telling me, and it's just I kept doing them. I'm talking about the clutch control video. So
lesson 1 is
lesson 1 on
Part
Monday.
1, yeah.
Well, it was lesson 2 technically speaking, but on Monday.
Yeah.
It's good to see yourself back. I mean, good to see how you're driving, you know, from a third person kind of angle. So it's I definitely feel like I've improved. I know I can do so much more. But I look forward to doing the 4th mock test.
Okay. Cool.